The city bustled with life on a sunny afternoon, the kind of day where the streets were alive with laughter, chatter, and the honks of impatient drivers. In the heart of the city's market square, the aroma of freshly fried fish mingled with the scent of ripe fruits and spices. Among the chaos, a small, scruffy stray cat skulked silently through the crowd. She was thin, her ribs protruding under her dull fur, and her eyes darted with both desperation and resolve. She wasn't scavenging for herself. Her kittens, hidden away in the ruins of an abandoned shed, were hungry. Their soft mews haunted her as she wandered, searching for anything to feed her starving babies. Her eyes locked on a fishmonger's stall. Fat, glistening fish lay piled on a wooden table, the smell so tantalizing it made her mouth water. The fishmonger was distracted, loudly negotiating with a customer over prices. She seized the moment. With silent, calculated movements, she leapt onto the stall. Her paws barely made a sound as she snatched a small fish from the edge of the pile. Her heart pounded as she darted away, weaving through the crowd. She was so close to freedom, the scent of the fish filling her nostrils, fueling her hope. But then a shout pierced the air. "Hey, thief!" The fishmonger had seen her. She sprinted, clutching the fish tightly in her jaws, her legs burning as she dodged feet in baskets. The fishmonger gave chase, his heavy boots thudding against the pavement. The commotion caught the attention of other vendors who joined in, yelling and pointing. The stray turned down an alley, her breath ragged. The fishmonger was closing in. She glanced behind her and didn't see the broken glass scattered on the ground. Pain shot through her paw as she stepped on a shard, but she kept running, limping now, her blood leaving a trail. She finally reached the shed where her kittens were hidden. She dropped the fish and let out a weak, reassuring meow. The kittens, unaware of her pain, scampered out, their tiny mouths tearing into the fish eagerly. She licked each of them lovingly, her tail wrapping around them protectively. The fishmonger burst into the shed, his face red with anger. His eyes softened for a moment as he took in the sight of the kittens, but his fury quickly returned. He grabbed a stick from the ground and raised it high, intending to strike the stray. She stood her ground, her body shielding her kittens, her injured paw trembling but firm. "Get out of here, you filthy animal," he roared. Before he could strike, one of the vendors who had followed him into the alley stopped him. "Wait," the vendor said. "Look at her. She's just trying to feed her babies." The fishmonger hesitated, his grip on the stick tightening. "And what about my fish? I work hard for my living." The vendor reached into his pocket and handed the fishmonger a few bills. "Here. This covers the fish. Let her go." Reluctantly, the fishmonger lowered the stick. The stray didn't move, her eyes locked on him, ready to defend her kittens if he changed his mind. Finally he turned and left, muttering under his breath. The vendor knelt down and placed a small piece of bread near the stray. "You're a brave one," he whispered before walking away. The stray nudged the bread toward her kittens, watching as they devoured it. Her paw throbbed and her body felt weak, but she was relieved. Her kittens were safe and fed for now. As the sun began to set, the stray curled around her kittens, her breathing shallow. She knew her injury was severe and she might not have much time left. But for that moment, as her kittens nuzzled against her, she felt a bittersweet sense of peace. Even in her final hours, she had given them a chance to survive.